Hi everyone, it's Gary Nicholson here for the Mountain Weather Information Service. This is your Planning Outlook video updated on Friday the 23rd of February. Now we're all set for a fascinating weather pattern over the next week or so as bitterly cold easterly winds encompass the British Isles. We've got some snowfall as well, focused on eastern hills and mountains all the way from the Peak District to the Scottish Highlands. Some snow may get elsewhere, but broadly western regions could see a substantially dry period and often bright with some sunshine. Severely cold temperatures though across most of the mountains, particularly focused on the Pennines and Wales. This is the 850 millibar chart, and it's one that we show you often in these videos. That's typically at around 4,500 to 5,000 feet. The height that we encounter 850 millibars varies depending on temperature of the air and the general pressure regime that is in place. At this stage, it's a little bit nearer to 5,000 feet, so values shown here are a bit too high for the Scottish Highlands, but it gives us a rough steer for the general air mass temperatures, and we can deduce the temperatures lower down as well. Through Sunday into Monday then, the really cold Siberian air mass is starting to arrive. The dark blues on this chart take you below -10 at 850 millibars. I think as we go through Monday daytime, temperatures on the higher tops, the Pennines, above 3,000 feet or more, you could be -7, -8 at that level. Similar across the high tops in Wales. Across the Scottish Highlands, you're around -5 to -7, I would have thought, on the Munros. Some of the higher tops could be a degree or so colder. The least cold air, if you like, is across the far northwest Highlands at this stage. The most intense cold air is more across England and Wales. Overall, though, it's a week where very cold conditions will be in place, subtle variations from day to day. If anything, the temperatures probably at their coldest through the middle part of the week, and you could find temperatures on the Scottish Munros -7 to -10. You could be likewise -7 or -8 across the tops of the Pennines, Lake District and Snowdonia. Add on the wind chill factor and it will be extremely cold in exposure. So a week to really be aware of those very, very low temperatures, the coldest air that's been across the country for a good few years when you're taking the country as a whole. Now in terms of snowfalls, this chart shows you snow depth from starting off over the weekend where there's already snow, as we well know, across the higher Scottish mountains. Just to see how that snow develops into the early part of the week. On Monday, flurries begin to arrive across eastern counties. By the later part of Monday, accumulating snow is onto the eastern Pennines and the borders. There'll be some lying snow, in fact, across many eastern counties of England. Some snow coming into the eastern Scottish Highlands, but I think during Tuesday particularly, that's where more extensive, prolonged, heavier falls of snow could well develop. Treating the depths of snow with caution at this stage. Any numbers on this chart, don't worry too much about. The general message is substantial accumulations across those eastern and northeastern parts. Maybe some snow gets onto the eastern hills of Wales, could again be significant in that part of the world. The eastern Pennines, the Peak District taking quite a good fall as well, I would have thought. All the while, many western regions seeing very little and maybe a little bit of snow coming through from time to time, but in terms of total accumulations, small amounts for West Wales, the Western Lake District, Dumfries and Galloway, and the western side of the Scottish Highlands right the way through. In fact, the West and Northwest Highlands could almost have a glorious winter week. A little bit cautious in saying too many positive words, bearing in mind how cold it will be, but if you can prepare for that, in terms of being clear skies, sunshine and very little precipitation, the West and Northwest Highlands will do very well through next week, whilst those eastern regions will more often be in low cloud and a greater risk of snow falling more frequently. That takes you through until Friday, and you can just see it's the focus across the eastern Pennines and eastern Scotland where the very highest accumulations will have developed. And with the air mass having its polar continental origins over the landmass of Siberia, it's a very dry, powdery snow that will develop, so extensive drifting is looking very likely. Just a quick run through the synoptics. We won't labour these too much because we've already shown quite a bit already. This is Saturday and we've got the southeasterly wind that's in. A strong blustery wind blowing through some of the passes even down to the valleys, so be aware of your significant wind chill factor, but essentially it's a dry and a bright day. Sunday is very similar. The easterly air mass is still blowing across the country. Again, cold, strong winds, focused more England and Wales. Southeasterlies across Scotland, not quite as strong. Again, dry and bright for most. Just some low cloud may affect some far eastern parts of the Pennines, perhaps into the eastern Highlands. By Monday, easterly winds in charge, high pressure towards the north, snow flurries coming into the eastern Pennines, western parts of the country dry and bright but bitterly cold. Tuesday sees a trough moving its way eastwards. Now that will bring more organised snow, which could be pretty widespread. Western Scotland, as we saw, may see very little, but there could be some coming through for a time even here. So a cloudier day, low cloud across the hills, the risk of snow falling and blowing about, and a more unpleasant picture. Through Wednesday, easterly winds dominate, could be strong, could be up to gale force across the hills and the mountains, snow coming in from the east, whiteout conditions possible. Again, the western Scottish Highlands probably doing the very best for staying dry and bright. Low cloud across more eastern areas. Towards the end of the week and into the start of March, the general trend is that high pressure is becoming centred a bit more towards Greenland. Low pressure is to the south of us around Spain and Portugal. We need to watch if that starts to edge northwards, producing fronts, which could just come in and give some more organised snow into central and southern Britain. That's not absolutely certain at this stage. It may just be we stay in a generally chilly easterly air mass and it's snow flurries coming in from the east once again. Either way, the far west and the northwest should stay often dry and bright. As we head into the first week of March, I don't think anything greatly changes. That area of high pressure stays somewhere around Greenland, even towards northern Canada. Low pressure stays somewhere towards the south and southwest of us, which may just bring an awkward mix of rain, sleet and snow to the south of Britain. Broadly, northern areas staying in a cold air mass. Some further snow may be possible, and that east or northeasterly type of wind is the one that will be common. And as things stand, it looks pretty likely that that cold, blocked, easterly type of regime stays in place well into March. So I think we'll be talking about snow on the mountains and sub-zero temperatures for a good few weeks ahead yet. We'll keep you right up to date then, and we'll have the next Planning Outlook video online for you on Tuesday. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.